I want to talk to you quickly from this subject. How bad do you want it? Look at somebody, ask them, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want this? I don't know what your it is, but the question of consideration for today is, how bad do you want it? You may be seated in the presence of our God. How bad do you want it? People claim they want stuff badly, but you can tell how bad the people want stuff by what they do to get it. I've learned to listen to what people say, but watch what they do. Because a lot of times what people say and what people do don't line up. And you can hear people time and time and talking about what they want. They're talking about what they're going to get and the promises that was made to them by God and the prophetic word that came into their life and how bad they believe God for something and how they just waiting for God to open a door, open a way, just make the desert just open up and flooded with waters. They waiting, and that's the problem. They just waiting. I'm waiting for God to do something, and you're not doing anything. I remember the text said, "Occupy till I come." He says to occupy, if I gave you a promise and you believe me, what are you doing until I manifest your promise? What are you doing? Just because you got a promise don't mean you sit there like a bump on a log. You don't do nothing. You don't pray no more. You don't fast no more. You stop coming to church. Your fervency, your vigor, your zest, your stick-to-itness, it begins to dissipate because you're just waiting on God. I'm waiting. How many people are waiting on God? You waiting for God to do something. You're scared to raise your hand now. How many of y'all waiting for God to do something? How many of y'all you got a promise and you really waiting for God to do something? You know, hey, this side God ain't do nothing for this side. I'm gonna hang out with people on this side. This the waiting side. They waiting for God to do something. They believe God. They got a promise. Now here's another question. What are you doing while you're waiting? What are you doing while you are waiting? Just because he gave you instruction, now you have to do something. You got to show some faith that it's about to happen. And that's not the issue. The issue is that the kingdom of God has put out an amber alert for power. The kingdom has issued an amber alert for power. Because what the church, I found out, is missing, y'all, is power. We got good dancing. We got graphic artists. We got videos. We got the best ushers. We got the best nurses. We got arts and crafts. And we got drama departments. We got kitchens. We got cooks and entrepreneurs. We got the poor and the rich. We got poverty and we got folks who are prosperous. We got all this stuff in the house. But the missing ingredient for deliverance is power. The church has become void of power. That's an indictment against God's house. If there should be anything in this house, it should be power. If the singers don't sing right, we still should have power. If the announcements don't play, we should still have power. If nobody dances, nobody runs, we should still have power. If you don't hear your best song, or the Levites are off key, pastor didn't preach a good word, but I went there and I felt the power. The church is supposed to have power. We don't come here so we can hook up with somebody. You don't come here to get you a date, find you a new boo, find you one of the sugar daddies, trying to find somebody to pay your rent. If you get the power of God, God will pay your rent. need on. What you need is power. Power is what we're missing, y'all. We need power. Dunamis power. Explosive power. Energy of power. Power that keeps going and going. It's Goose power. You need military power. You need Kratos power. The power that is supreme. What we don't need another song. We need power. Power to heal. Power to deliver. Power to open up your mouth. And hell gets nervous. Anybody want power? Anybody want power? I see a few of y'all like me. I want power. What I came here for is not more members. I came here for more power. If you came here for any other reason, I need to correct you today. When you wake up, you got to tell God, I don't know what I'm going to encounter this week, but if you give me power, I need power. Look what he says in Luke. I will give you power to tread on serpents and scorpions. I know some people that remind me of a serpent and a scorpion. I got some people in my family that reminds me of serpents and scorpions. I see folks coming to church that reminds me of serpents and scorpions, and they got a little bit of power. But I found out my power is greater than their power. Maybe we'll stop getting scared of stuff if we get more power. Maybe we'll stop backing up if we get more power. Maybe we'll stop backsliding if we get more power. Maybe you'll stop lifting up your skirt or pulling down your pants if you had more power. This whole text is dealing with power. It's dealing with power. Jesus is in a church service with Moses and Elijah. He is having church, y'all, with Moses and Elijah. He is on the mountain. He takes his disciples with him and he leaves them at the bottom. And he goes up to have service with Moses and Elijah, because you can't take people everywhere. Why didn't they take Peter, James, and John up to the mountain? They weren't ready for the mountain experience. And God is trying to pull some of us to have a mountain experience. But you got valley people hooked up with you. And you cannot get to the mountain with people who are comfortable in the valley. I don't know when I'm going to get my breakthrough. When you cut some of these people off, I don't know when I'm going to get my stuff. God can't give it to you, Abraham, because you got a lot with you. You got to cut some people off. He has service. He's on the mountain. He is in his realm. He is having a conference. We don't know what they were talking about. Can you imagine being privy to the conversation between Moses, Elijah, and Jesus? And he leaves the mountain and goes back down with his disciples. And this is the problem. When he gets down to his disciples, he comes across this man who says, I have a problem. That is why we created the church. That is why we opened the church. That is why we keep the doors open for the church. So people would come in who can say, I have a problem. Do you have a solution? The church is supposed to be solution oriented. We were never designed to give out turkeys. We were never designed to be social services. We were never designed to put you up in a shelter. We were never designed to help you get on welfare. We were never designed to give you this and to give you that. The chief function of the church is to give you solutions for your problem. That is the chief function of this and every church, to provide biblical solutions. Biblical solutions. Isn't it funny, you can be around people and don't really know them? You can be with people for years and don't really know them. You can be sleeping with the enemy and don't even realize it. No, you got to get in your prayer closet. You got to get in your secret space. You got to ask God, show me the hearts of the people. Show me the hearts of everybody I'm connected with. Show me, God, if they mean me well. Show me if they're on my side. And if God don't show you nothing, it's time to back up. We need to separate for a season until I found out who sent you here. Did the devil send you or did God send you? People are in your life for a season or a reason. And you got to figure out, are you here for a season or are you here for a reason? I want people around me that got power. I'm tired of hanging out with people who ain't got no power. I'm tired of having lunch with people who ain't got no power. I'm tired of talking faith and they talking reality. Of course I know what I am. Of course I know what I have. But I'm speaking faith. But every now and then, he'll send something that you ain't ready for. He'll send something because he know you've been saved 5 years. And he don't care how much you've been praying or fasting. He got demons that been waiting for 5 years to come into your life. He got some stuff that's been waiting for 5 years to come into your marriage. He got some stuff for 5 years that's coming to your body. And you saying, open the window, get out of here. And he says, the devil is a liar. I ain't going nowhere. No, you got to leave my house. He sits right in your kitchen. Make some eggs and grits. He sits right on your bed. Picks up your remote control. Change the channel for you. Tells you to say our prayers before we go to bed. Because he knows you're supposed to match me. You making the fight too easy. So I'ma stick around your house until you learn how to fight. I'ma touch your child until you learn how to fight. I'ma touch your money until you learn how to fight. I ain't going nowhere. What do you do to a stubborn demon? How do you beat a stubborn demon? How do you beat a demon that don't pay you no mind? How do you beat a demon that you go to church, he's in your house, you come back, he said, what took you so long? I've been waiting for you since you left. How was service? What overseer preached? How was service? You know, I was going to stop by there, but I think I'd hang out at your house until you got it back, because we got some things to talk about. Because you're going to talk to somebody. You're going to talk to somebody in the spiritual realm. You're going to speak to somebody, celestial or terrestrial. You're going to talk to somebody. And he knows since you ain't talking to God, you might as well have a conversation with me. How was service? What did the Levites sing? How was the drummer today? Did Karan get on that organ? Did they give out waters today? Because I know it's kind of hot, you know. I'm used to this heat, but I know you ain't really used to it. But when you die, trust me, I'll make sure you're comfortable. How was service? Yeah, I looked at service and I saw you sitting there with your legs folded and your arms crossed. I saw you sitting there acting like you was posting on Facebook, but you was really texting your boo. I went to service and I saw you just haphazardly clapping your hands. I went there, but then God showed up, so I stepped out. But I can see you looking real bored. So I figured I would entertain you until you got back. I figured I would make up the bed before we got in it. I saved you some leftovers. How was service? You can get home from a hot service and meet the devil and he asks you, how was service? You're gonna go to prayer night. Go back home and he asks you, how was prayer? Because I know you wasn't praying. Prayer was an hour. I know you only give God 5 minutes and you get bored. I know you start thinking about what you got to do for the weekend. I know you started singing in your head. You know, to the left. You start singing. You start millie rocking. You start doing the cabbage patch. You start thinking about the food that's not doled out. You start thinking about your job and your boss. How was service? Because I know even though you were there, you were not there. I know even though you got dressed up, you even scrubbed your feet, but you wasn't there. How was service? You know, I saw when they started giving, because I know you can praise your way into money, and I was peeking at you doing the offering and the tithe, and I saw you not pay. How was service? And because you didn't give God that dime, he can't rebuke the devourer for your sake. How was service? I saw you left your kids home when you went to service. So we've been here I've been playing with their heads. I've been having them do stuff you wouldn't even imagine why you left them. How was service? How was service? You've been dealing with some stuff, but I realize you really don't love God. You like God. How was service? Was service good? The overseer let you out early. The Levites sang 1 or 2 songs. What key were they in? Because I know you pay attention more to that than you do the present. So, how was service? See, because I know you like to sit in the back, and when the ushers move you up, you get an attitude. And when you get that attitude, I know you ain't paying attention. So, how was service? Tell me again. What text did he come for? What was his subject? What was his intro? Did he have 3 points or 4?